So the governor then has, if a bill comes to him before 7 days is left in the House, in the General Assembly sessions, before sine die, which those of you who know Latin should be sine die, but it's not sine die. That's the German of the General Assembly. The governor has 7 days to act, and then he can send back his recommendations on the bill. Ordinarily, the governor will have 30 days, because a lot of this stuff takes place at the very end of the session. So he'll have 30 days to make decisions about the bills. And then during that time, he will send his recommendations out, sometimes with fanfare, sometimes not. The governor has the authority to accept, to make recommendations for change, and to veto bills. The General Assembly will come back to session usually about 6 weeks after adjournment, and they call it the reconvened session or the veto session, in which case they make decisions about whether they will accept or reject the governor's recommendations or his veto. In order to override a gubernatorial veto, the houses both have to have 2/3 of a majority. So in the House, that means 67 votes, and in the Senate, what's 2/3 of 40? I don't know the math, but you can get the idea of how that happens. Sometimes they can't override the vetoes, and those vetoes stand, and the bills do not become law. Other times, the members will accept the recommendations of the governor, because usually they're technical recommendations. You know, somebody forgot to put in an important word. They've actually had time to now read it and say, oops, this doesn't make sense. And more than not, people will accept the governor's recommendations, although sometimes they do not. And then they send it back to the governor, in which case the governor can sign or not sign. If he doesn't sign, it still becomes law.